two-time winner of the Cox Plate, So You Think. And to accept the award on behalf of So You Think and his connections, and also tell some of the great stories, is Duncan Ramage. Please put your hands together for Duncan. Duncan was instrumental in finding So You Think, and then throughout his racing career. Great to see you here, Duncan. How are you?
Great to be here. Great to be honoured to be picking up this trophy. You know, I think it's important when you look through who's won it in the past. And we've talked about Bath in the preview on the TV. Dado Tan has also been inducted, and also their former champion who won the Cox Plate himself, Saintly. So I think it's lovely for the memory of Bart and Dado to be here with their last champion, So You Think.
He was such a stunning individual. What was it that caught your and Bart's eye, So You Think, as a yearling?
Look, he was actually a very immature horse at the sales. He was a November foal, born on the 10th of November. We've selected him by these types of horses and we've waited for them to furnish out. He was a nice horse. He obviously wasn't a superstar at the sales. He cost $110,000, but he developed to become what he was, and that's sort of what we look for in a young horse.
When did Bart and yourself know that you had one that was better than average? Did you ever envisage that he could reach the heights that he eventually did?
Look, he was very good when he went to his maiden as a 2-year-old first up Rosehill. Hugh Bowman rode him. He actually sat 4 wide without cover, and he still won by a few lengths. So we've pretty good idea that he was a nice horse then.
We'll have a look at his first Cox Plate, because you were coming off the Caulfield Guineas, where a lot of people thought he might have been a touch disappointing. He didn't really get around Caulfield, but Bossy on him this day, straight to the front, and they never saw him. Was that the pre-race plan?
No, I think like all Bart's runners, he was probably midfield with cover, but 49.5 kilos, he flew the gates, and a great judged ride by Bossy. He wins these big races. You see him at Randwick and the Doncasters, the Miles, these type of races, judged it to a T, and all over, wasn't it?
Were you confident that day?
Cautiously optimistic.
$9.50 looks a nice price. If we could turn back time to get $9.50, I'd say you think. He then took all before him. He became the superstar of Australian racing. It was a different story 12 months later, because he was the short-priced odds-on favourite that everyone expected to win. What was the pressure like that day?
Look, it's been spoken about a lot with the Winx team. I can only imagine the pressure they were under in year 3 and 4. Because it really becomes a blessed relief when they win, because the pressure is so high, you know, so it is pressure.
Actually sold, because he had Australian racing by the scruff of the neck. There was nothing that could compete with him.
Look, I think you'll see now every colt that goes around is syndicated to go to stud. They go all over the place. The numbers come so huge that no one man can bear the number. Even the assurance alone is unsurmountable. And I think what So You Think has done for Australian racing overseas is the only horse that won 5 Group 1s overseas. You can go from Bone Crusher, Farlap, Black Caviar. No other horse has got even close to that. 1 or 2 Group 1s, not 5. So I think he's been a worthy ambassador overseas in his ventures over there.
At that time that So You Think was here, the lure was to try and equal Kingston Town's record of 3 consecutive Cox Plates. Do you think he would have done it, So You Think?
Look, it's easy to look back in hindsight, but yeah, I think he would have been favourite.
I think it was Pinker Pinker's year, so I think he might have. And what about the performance of Winx to come back 4 years in a row?
I think 4 years in a row to go through that whole number of runs unbeaten. The thing that strikes me with Winx, and I think the full credit must go to Waller and his team, I don't recall an engagement where she didn't turn up because something went wrong. The only time she didn't turn up was because the jockey got suspended and they altered the program to fit the jockey. That horse to turn up on so many race days, at her best, and win. That's an extraordinary performance.
The race that never was. How would So You Think and Winx have gone down the straight?
Well, it would have been an interesting match, wouldn't it? They could still match up now, you know.
Well, I was getting there, because it wouldn't that be the date with Destiny?
Well, there's 6 Cox Plates between them.
Does that sound good, Pete?
Fantastic.
Peter Tighe, So You Think Winx? How's that sound? In the breeding barn? Have to think about it.
Keep thinking.
He has been an outstanding side, hasn't he? What he's been able to do off the track since he retired in such a short amount of time has been phenomenal.
Look, as we stand now, he's the equalist producing stakes winner so far this season, alongside I'm Invincible, Schnitzel, You know, he's on the top 10 stallions. He is a middle distance side in theory, so he's got a harder job than some of these sprinter miler size to be in those top ranks, but he's doing a tremendous job.
Well, I can't let you go without trying to get a little tip. So you think, who's the best Sprint Carnival progeny we should be following?
He's got 2 in the Derby, hasn't he? He's got Kieran Maher's horse that won the Norman Robinson by panels. Thought of that. They all got think names. I can't remember them all. And then Long Jack won the Geelong Derby trial here on Wednesday. So they've got to probably beat So You Think's barnmate Piero's horse, who's current favourite, Shadow Hero, but he's got 2 very good hopes in the Derby.
There's been a lot of talk about the life of thoroughbreds. What's So You Think's life like?
Well, it's actually very topical at the moment, and they call it life after racing. Well, I think if you're a racehorse and you're looking for a life after racing and you're So You Think, you've cracked it.
I think that is very well summed up. Duncan, great to see you here. Have a look behind you. That is the picture that you will get to take home the Kingston Town Champion Legend Award.